Are we good?
Welcome to this Saturday's MasterClass. Today we're very fortunate to have Paulo Chira doing a MasterClass on topspin. And trust me, I've just been hitting with him for a few minutes and he's very, very good at topspin. From 2004 to 2008, Paulo was on the Canadian national team. He traveled the world representing Canada, and he also achieved the title of the Canadian Championships and North American Championships. So he knows quite a lot about table tennis. He's a very, very good player, and we're very fortunate to have him here. So he's going to walk us through topspin in about a 30-minute, 40-minute presentation, and then we're all going to go to the tables and meet one-on-one. Please, anyone with cell phones, just turn the sound off, and I'll leave it to Paulo.
I got to do it too. Thank you. Okay, so topspin. Let's see. So the most important shot probably on table tennis is the topspin. It's where we start attacking, we start doing everything, right? Once you become familiar with topspins, all your footwork exercises are, you're going to have to do it with topspin. Unless you're a defensive player, obviously, you don't have to do topspin, we just chop. But for any kind of footwork, we got to do topspin. Even if it's forehand, every time it's topspin. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to focus on just the forehand topspin. And I'm going to give a little bit of background on the backhand because I don't think we have enough time to cover the backhand. If we do have time, I will cover it. But the most important shot is the forehand topspin. So it starts with the legs. I'm going to shadow it first. I'm not going to put any balls at the moment. And then we'll take care of the balls. For me, it's very important when you're doing a forehand or a forehand topspin or a smash or anything. Most of the people make the mistake of being parallel on the legs, okay? The rule for me, and this is one of the reasons the Europeans and the Chinese are really good at it, and they're able to give power on the legs, is to have a 45-degree angle on the legs for the forehand side, and for the backhand side, a 5-degree angle. 5-degree angle for the backhand side. 45 for the forehand. So essentially when you're playing, when you're moving, you're not just moving like this, you're kind of like changing like this, right? So forehand topspin, we're going to start from the right leg. This is where the power is going to come, at a 45-degree angle. We go down with our legs, always bending down. So the power comes from the toes, goes through the leg, to your knee, your waist, so everything has to be included, and then the spin, right? So we go down and up, down and up. For some players that are not really physically trained, because I understand it's difficult to be moving side to side and this like this, I used to, when I was, right now I'm not physically well per se, I added a little thing that you guys can probably use to give a little bit more spin, which is bringing your, rather than hitting the ball here, bringing it to the side to give you an extra power. So you don't have to use that many legs and that many waist. But if you really want to be key on technique, this is the right way to do it. Up, up, up. 45-degree angle of my legs at all the time, and just go up, up, and up. Make sure you brush the ball. If you really want to get a good spin on the ball, it should start from here all the way to the end to brush the ball. You start from here, you're not giving topspin, it's just passing the ball. We go from there to there. So the way we start, like anybody that we finish the forehand technique, we finish the backhand technique, which is the underspin technique, and we get into topspin. The way we started is like, if Steven can help me out, just to prove it. He's going to give me an underspin here, okay? It's a lot of spin, Steven. A lot of spin, so the ball is going to go down directly. If I hit it straight, it's going to go down directly. It's not even going to clear the net. The more spin he puts, if I hit it normal is going to go down the table or to the net. So what do we have to do? We have to go up. Okay? So this is the reason we go with our arms down and up of the table. Okay? Do one more time. So far, I'm not even putting any spin on the ball. I'm just putting the ball on the table. Okay? So we go up and down. One more. So for the time being, the first thing I'm going to get you to do is to do that. Okay? Then we're going to start putting our legs into it. Okay? I'm still not brushing. I'm still not putting in the spins. I'm going just up first on the movement, and now I'm putting my legs into it. No spin whatsoever. Ball is still going on the table. Okay? Now we're going to put our waist into it. So now you're going to see there's going to be more power into the shot. One more time. Waist, legs, and my arm. No spin whatsoever. Ball still goes on the table. Now we put the spin on it. There's the spin. The more you put it here, you brush with the whole racket, the more spin you're going to get. The less spin you're going to get. The ball is still going to go on the table because you're using your legs and your waist for power. But the more spin, the more racket circumference, I guess, we call it that way, you put, the more spin you can put on the table. Now I'm going to do the topspin the way I do it. Ooh, relax, Steven. So you see, I put my racket here to give an extra spin, more power, and I don't use too much waste, and I don't have the ability to actually be doing this all the time. So this is how I adjusted that. Before I used to be able to do it, now I have to incorporate that shot. Another thing, some players, they like to put their wrist into it. So that's another way to get power, and you also can get a lot of the spin. So we'll do it that way with the wrist. See? I can get a lot of power with just my wrist. I'm not even putting any weight on this shot. Simple. Okay? Movement from side to side, forehand and backhand with topspin. We got to make sure that our legs are a 45-degree angle all the time. No matter what, it has to be at a 45-degree angle. Maybe if you're playing a game, one shot, second shot, by the third shot, you should be already on a 45-degree angle. It's very important for the power of the shot to have those legs in a 45-degree angle. If you're straight, even you're taking your waist out of the shot, because it's difficult to be doing this. If I'm like this, I can turn more my waist and give more power. Okay? If I'm like this, there's no power. This is just my arm. And this is when injuries happen. So we need to be on this 45-degree angle all the time. So I'm going to shadow a little movement with topspin and then with backhand and topspin. Okay? So right away, topspin here. And all the time, I'm on a 45-degree angle. Topspin. 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 With backhand. 5-degree angle, 45-degree angle. And it's not that difficult to bring that leg there. Like a lot of people say, oh, like I have to do this on the side, right? It's not even that difficult. I'm there. That's my forehand. I don't have to be doing this. It's the same time. I'm there. Same on the same position. If we're doing backhand here, turn around, I'm already there. I like this shot a lot because I'm already here. This forced me to be in a 45-degree angles right away. So I like, one of my secrets, when I used to play, I like to serve short, no spin or a little bit of spin. They go here, I get ready right away, and this is when I take the attack for the forehand topspin. I love that shot. My backhand topspin is not the greatest. I use forehand all the time. Okay? We'll go for backhand now? Yeah. Backhand topspin. Backhand topspin is a little easier. There's not too much movement. You're using mostly your arm and your wrist. Legs, there is no too much involvement to it. But we still have to use it. You have to use your legs at all time in this sport. A lot of people make the mistake of being this sport, you just play in your basement and you go like this. It's not like that. Legs are like the main reason you can be really good at this sport. This is the reason the Chinese are so good, because of their movement. They move. If we look at Ma Long, if we look at Fang Shendong, if we look at Sang Jika, if we look at Xu Sheng, don't just look at their move, the way they hit the ball. Stay there and just look at their legs. You will just be amazed the way they're moving. It's just unbelievable the way they move, okay? So I'm just gonna do the backhand topspin. I'm just gonna do it with a little bit of legs, the way I do it, and I use mostly my arms. There's no waist involvement in here, just my arm and my legs. So we go down first. I usually go under the groin and up. And the movement stays there. Don't go over here because you lose your position. With legs, okay? So start. So again, if I go, ball goes down. If I just pass, we need some sort of shot to put it up. No spin, this is just going up. Not even legs, and I still put it in. Now I'm gonna incorporate a little bit of legs on it. No spin whatsoever, ball still goes in. Now I'm going to put some spin on it. Steven, more closer. Stays there. I made a little bit of a mistake by putting my arm all the way here. It stays there. Should be an invisible wall right here that doesn't let you go. And with the forehand, you can kill that ball with legs. Technically is the most difficult shot on the whole sport, the topspin. But once you get it, you already crossed that intermediate level to an advanced level. You're already advanced by knowing that topspin. If you can put more than, say, 20 topspins on the table from one side, great, you're there. You know how to play table tennis, and you can compete and go to other places. Now, this is topspin that I just showed you. It's just underspin. Okay? This is when a person goes and pushes you and you want to start the attack. That's it. For no spin, it's a little bit different. Okay? No spin, if the ball comes to you, I'm not going to go up again. Because if I go up and the ball is coming with no spin, ball is going to come out. So, Steven, just give me a free ball. No spin. No, but like normal. Normal. So the ball is going to go out of the table because I'm going up. Why would I want to go up if the ball doesn't have any spin? Okay? So what I want to do, same rule applies, 45-degree angle, power comes from the right leg, from your toes. You still go forward, you still use your waist, but rather than going up, we go straight. So we're going from here. And we're going to give a little bit of brush. So now the brush is not going to start from here. We're going to start about 3/4 of the racket for the brush. Okay, so we go. One more. And this is when I use my way, when I use my racket all the way here. But in order to use that, you got to make sure that you're going to go back to your position right away. Okay? The reason we go to the forehead and to here is because it gives us enough time to go to the next shot. The key of this sport is actually to save time. We got to be quick, we got to be fast, we got to think, and the ball comes in like half a second. So we don't have time. So that's why technique and your legs and the movement of your legs is very important for this sport. Movement. One there, one there. Just forehand. So you see, there's also another important factor in this sport, is rhythm. You want to develop a rhythm when you're playing the sport. Okay? The way you develop that rhythm is you do one jump on every shot, no matter what. Ball comes here, ball comes there, and you want to do forehand, forehand, it's only one jump. You don't do more than two. Once you cross your legs, it's over. There's no rhythm. Side, side. Steve. Yeah. See, one shot. One shot, one jump. Your feet, they can move a little bit, but be careful you spray your ankles and things like that. Trust me, it happens. I spray my ankles just moving, even in training or just playing around, right? But it has to be one jump at all the times. Okay? Backhand. Now, there's two options for the backhand, with no spin, no underspin, just regular. You can do the same thing, it starts from the bottom, but now you're not going under. You're just going to go on your groin and straight, or you can grab it here on the side. Okay? Some Europeans like to grab it from the side, and they like to do the backhand that way. It works. I don't like it personally. I rather just have it here on my groin, and I use a little bit of my wrist and forearm. No more than that. Steven? So, very simple. It's like, this is for topspin. The backhand topspin is the simplest shot. Again, do not go over it. Some people like to go, oh, I'm sure you've seen Krenga, one of the best Greek players. He likes to do that, but I don't know, I don't like the technique he does, but he's really good. Just there, just forehand, everything. Okay? Any questions? No? We're good? Anybody? Go ahead.
Could you tell me how far you go down? Just to the grind, or like depending on
You
the
can
shot?
go anywhere. So for the underspin or no spin?
Underspin.
Underspin. So I'll go under here. Right there. And bring it up. Up.
Anyone with a question, just raise your hand. I'll bring it up.
Anything else? Yeah.
Yes, hi. My question was point of contact. Does the point of contact change, or it's always in the same spot for all the different shots?
Point of contact. Okay. That's a very good question and a very difficult one to answer, okay? The point of contact is developed by you. Where is your most comfortable place to take the shot? Okay? Exactly a point of contact that I have to tell you I won't give you an exact, I'll give you like a vicinity of it. Underspin, right on the line. If the ball is too low, you still can bring it up, but it's going to be more difficult. So just on top of the line to break. If it goes too low, it's there. If it's too high, ball is coming out of the table. Just for underspin. No spin, I'm going to say 20 centimeters above for no spin. So you're starting from here. So underspin, let's put it this way. Knee for underspin, and your waist for no spin, for the topspin. Make sure you're always using your technique. Once you develop that rhythm, that you're not missing the ball too much, you're going to develop your own point of contact. Some people like it to be all the way down here, and they go with a lot of a spin. Some people like it over here. Some people like it on the side. Some people like it a little closer, and they go like this. So once you develop your own technique and you're settled, that's when you will notice your point of contact and everything. Yes, Stephen?
Yeah, I see that you're taking the balls behind the baseline. Can you do a topspin shot over the table?
Over the table, okay. You want to come and help me a little bit?
And how far over the table can you?
So now we're getting a little more advanced, right? So this is when the counterattack, so loop to loop, and staying close to the table comes into place. So some people, they develop, before it used to happen, it was a long time ago, they developed, rather than me just blocking the ball, why just give a counter loop back? The thing with that is because when you give a topspin, it's going up. When the ball bounces, it's going to go up right away. Okay? So if we want to take it, if we want to counterattack it, we need to take it right after the bounce because we just want to make sure that that ball doesn't get over us. Okay? So in order to do a really good counterattack, you got to make sure the ball doesn't pass this line. So let's imagine there's a wall right here. You got to make sure it doesn't pass that wall. Okay? Once it's to here, too late. You're too close to the table, you're going to end up hitting the ball like this. And you don't want that. Okay? So let's do a topspin, and I'll counterattack it. So we're there. See? I didn't even let the ball, as soon as it bounced, I didn't let the ball, it went in. Right there. So as I said before, one more time. If I catch it too late, won't be able to see it. It has to be right after the bounce. Because that bounce on the topspin, because nobody's going to give you the same on the same spot all the time. Okay, it's going to be different spot. So when that bounce goes, it goes like that. Bounce goes, he gave a little bit of side spin, it's going to go this way. So you want to catch it right after the bounce, no matter what. Okay? Another one, since you brought that one to counterattack. Counterattack from far away, so loop to loop. Once you are in a, this is just, it's getting a little too advanced, but let's try to explain it a little bit. So counterattack is a little bit the way I want to do it. So loop to loop, you want to catch it right at the top, right here. Some people like to catch it all the way to the bottom and do like an underspin for counterattack, which is fine. But you're always going to get spinny balls everywhere. So I like to catch it maybe at his highest point. So give me a topspin. More time. So as soon as it bounces, because the ball is going to bounce really high. So you have enough time, actually, to see where the ball is going to land. This is where your technique has to be perfect, because if your technique is weird, the ball is not going to go in because of the spin and the speed of the ball. So you have enough time. I literally have enough time to watch where the ball is going to bounce, where is it going to end up, and where do I have to hit it. So one more time. More time. Right? He topspin, I topspin back. But you got to catch it right on the high spot. Backhand. Through the back, I don't recommend that. It's a really difficult shot. I don't do it. Maybe I get one every game for attack when I play. But the counter one is the same thing. We got to catch it right at the bounce. More time. I don't even let it go. I even go inside the table to catch it. But for rule, don't let it come out of the line. Right? Right? So we just catch it. And it's a really good shot. Like, you can make a lot of points with it. If you're really good at that, kudos to you, because it's a really good shot to have. A lot of people like to do that counter-attack backhand rather than being just doing backhand controlling. They counter-attack it, and it's really difficult for the other player to attack it back. Because you're attacking with topspin, they have to attack with topspin. Any other questions?
Lance?
Yes, sir. So Pablo, you said there like the ball, the contact, you cannot hit over the line when you do backhand,
No.
right?
By rule, if you want to counterattack in front of the table, don't let it come out of that line. It has to be before there. Once it goes this way, it's going to bounce over you. And either even if you catch it, you're going to catch it on the side. Always got to catch it on the middle of the racket. Middle of the racket all the time for that contra. It's a really difficult shot. Like, we can try it if you want to, but I don't expect you to learn that like right away.
So you're going to hit the middle of the contact of the racket.
Yeah, right away. Right away, as soon as it bounces. Don't let it bounce. Bounce, you take it.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Andre.
Yeah. Well, you receive a backspin short serve. have to respond to that.
So we're going to flip. I don't know if that's my responsibility, Steve, but you want me to take care of it?
Well, does it fall under topspin? A little
Could
bit? Yeah, we can spend a few minutes on that
Sure.
before we go to
So
the tables.
this shot, the flip, personally, I'm 50% on it, okay? I like most to go short. I like to play with my spins under to go short. If I flip, either the ball is really high and I'm in a really good position. Do not flip if the ball has a lot of a spin and you're not in a good position, okay? So it's the same thing as the underspin. Hold on, Steve. It's the same thing underspin. For underspin, you're here, you have to move your right leg and then contact with the ball. The flip is the same thing. There is no arm involvement, there is no waist, there is no legs. This is totally your wrist. You have to make sure 3/4 of the racket, you have to brush the ball. So we go ahead. Put it over there. So this is all my wrist, and I'm just going inside. Same with backhand. So we're just using wrist. Just using wrist. That's all we're doing. Another shot that I just started to see from a lot of people is putting the racket like an underspin, topspin, and making a whole circle around. What they're technically doing in there is kind of like a side spin. So it's kind of like a change. I just started to practice that. I never used it before. I'm liking the shot, but I see it more and more by a lot of players. So Steve, can you do a little bit? So technically, you're making a circle. Same thing as the underspin, so you're going down like that, but it's all your wrist, and then a circle up. Shorter. Shorter, Steve. Okay, so all the time, flip and underspin, you want to go short, it's like fencing, as I said. In and out. In and out. Same with backhand. In and out. In and out. Okay? Any other questions? Don't be afraid.
So if there's no more questions, oh, one more.
What did you miss? Everything.
You just arrived 1 minute ago. Everything. Well, one more from Lance.
So Pablo was saying it there for that shot there, that the wrist. Where's the contact? You do that.
Contact on that right away. So rather than actually, I'm not going here, I'm not going here. I'm using this much of the racket. So now I have a bigger surface to actually spin the ball. So I'm starting here. This is where they contact the ball and go around. So it's a whole circle. Rather than just doing a straight, you're doing a whole circle of a spin, which is a great shot. I don't even know it that well. I'm just starting to practice right now.
Is this shot used by Malone and those guys?
Oh, yes, all the time.
All the time,
They're
yeah.
like, I don't know what year they came out, but it was really short. And I started to see it by a lot of players. Now the Europeans are using it. I mean, one player that is really good at it is Fan Shandong. So you want to watch somebody that flips, he's unbelievable flipper. All flips everywhere. And I'm saying like he has the best footwork in the world as well.
Great, okay.
Anything else?
Yeah. Also, too, like when you do your regular backhand, you hit it 1/3 of the racket, right? That's where you hit it for the backhand.
For the one underspin or no spin?
Underspin.
Underspin, yeah, 1/3 of the racket or more.
Okay.
So starting from there to there. Okay. Brush the ball, make sure it's under, legs included, and up until here. Okay. If you don't incorporate the late, you don't incorporate because there's no help of the waist on that shot. Like the forehand, you don't have the 45-degree angle. So this is technically legs, your arm, and your wrist, and your forearm. So you need those.
Thank you.
All right, so this concludes the presentation part of the masterclass. Let's give Paulo a quick round of applause. Thank you. This week, I just want to announce that next Tuesday, we're starting our Never Told for Gold Seniors program. It's on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 o'clock to 3 p.m. And right after this masterclass at 3 p.m., we start our weekly Saturday tournament. So anyone interested, please register. All right, so now everyone go to the tables. And, before you do, maybe Paulo, quickly, what exercise would you like them to do once they get there?
Well, because we have been sitting down for a little bit, let's do a little bit of 5 minutes forehand, 5 minutes backhand, and then we'll go into the topspin right away. Okay?